Hi everyone. I wanted to welcome you to spring semester 2018, and I hope you all had a great winter break and you're ready to start fresh. I just sort of wanted to give you a little introduction to this course and how it's set up on D2L. So I'm just showing you my screen right now. So if we go into the class, you will see that all of the content, let me see if I can do a student view. Hold on a sec. All right, you will see that all of the content is right here, and I just kind of want to go over what a few of these things are. So if you come up here and you go to Program Overview and Instructor Introduction and open that, it's going to open in its own window. And let's see if I can shrink it so it fits in my, so it fits in my screen. Okay, so this is just basically going to give you a very generic overview of the program, and then this is more information about the program, and on the third page is your introduction to me. So you can use that sort of as a model because you will be doing an introduction of yourselves in D2L, and that is what the announcement about on the home screen is. When you go to Course Home, it's right here. So then the next item is your orientation to 7750, and this is basically taken right off of the syllabus, and I strongly urge you to read the syllabus closely. And then the remainder of this information is sort of what you need technology-wise and some policies of the MED program and of Kennesaw State University graduate programs, things like academic integrity and honesty and plagiarism and all of those wonderful warnings that we have to post. So that would be the second thing that I would like for you to review. And then the third thing is the important one, the big important one. So you're always going to want to return here. This is resources. And if you go to resources, you will see that we have the syllabus here. It will open as a Word document, so you can open that. And on the syllabus, which again, I would very much like for you to read, I'm not going to go over it here, but you'll see there's all of my information, and the very best way to reach me is to use my regular Kennesaw address, because if you email me through D2L, I have to go into D2L to be able to answer you, and it's not always really friendly on my phone screen from where, if I'm out and about and you send me an email. So if you send it to that regular KSU email address, I'll be able to respond a lot faster, because I don't like responding to D2L on my phone because it's tiny and hard to read. I'm going to scroll down here. Here's some the required textbooks. Really, it's just two, and this APA manual is really for your writing assignments. You will need it throughout your program. So you'll see that I request that all of your written assignments follow APA format, and so that's what the manual is for. There is also a very good site, OWL Purdue, which is good. You could probably just rely on that. So the choice is yours, but I pretty much live by my APA manual. And then there is the Dwyer's text, which is in the bookstore for you to purchase, but you can probably find it cheaper online, I bet. And then you need to have a Chalkemeyer subscription, and there are going to be some other articles to read, and they're posted on D2L. And then there's some other recommended readings at the end of the syllabus. You might want to peruse those. There is a place where you're going to have to do an annotated bibliography, and you might want to read some of those. Now, for this course, you're going to have a big project, kind of two big projects, but really one big project that we're going to be working on all along. And if you are choosing to work with, you get a choice. So the differentiated planning, instruction, and assessment assignment, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, but you get a choice. You can choose a group of your students who are either students with special needs or students who learn differently, which I prefer to say, students who learn differently, or you can choose students who are multilingual learners. Some people call them English learners, but I think that's very deficit-based because they already speak another language, so they're really multilingual learners, which is much more asset-based. And then finally, you can also choose students who are not being well served by the traditional curriculum. So you can pick any one of those groups, or you can pick 4 students and they might be from different groups, but basically you're going to choose a small subset of students, 4, 5 maybe, that would be good, 4 or 5, and you are going to look at one of the lessons you've already taught. You're going to modify it so that you are making modifications for those students in that smaller group that you choose. And you are also going to create and modify assessments. So that's what that assignment is about. If you are going to work with English learners, I highly recommend that you purchase one of these books based on your content area, because there are not a lot of articles or books written with secondary grade students in mind. Most of them are written for K through 5. So if you teach K through 5, you don't want to get one of these books. But if you teach 6 through 12, then one of these would be very helpful if you're working with multilingual learners. I'm going to scroll quickly, so don't get dizzy. I'm scrolling through all of this. It tells you what standards you are meeting. And here you will see you have your course outline. I want to point out to you, you will see that here you have a reading reflection that's due on the 17th. So you're going to post your reflection on the 17th, but then you have until the 24th, which is a week later, to respond to other people's posts. And I would like for you to respond to 2 or 3 other people. And when people respond to your original post, I would like for you to answer back. So that's why you have that whole extra week. So you will see that this week while you are responding here, you're also going all the way into Module 2, and you're working on your next reading reflection. So there's a little overlap there, and the reason I did that is because last semester I made the original post due on Sunday night, and then people had to respond by the following Wednesday, a few days later, and they said that wasn't enough time. So I listened to your student evaluations, and so I made this so you have more time to respond, but it does create a bit of an overlap. So I just wanted to point that out on the syllabus. So really that's the calendar right there, so you have a copy of that. We also have one thing I do want you to note, and when we look at the rubrics, you'll understand this better, but basically a C is average work, so that means you did what you were supposed to do, but not much more. And a B means that you went above average, and an A means that not only did you meet the C requirements or the above average requirements, but what you did was excellent. And you will see that on our rubrics, you are scored either as L1, L2, L3, L4, and to get an L4, it tells you something that you can do to go above and beyond to get the A. So here are some guidelines for submitting your work and the quality that I would like for it to be. And then we get to your assignments. So you have reading reflections and weekly lesson planning assignments. And basically, the reading reflections are where you're going to show me that you have engaged with materials in the module. You have thought about how they can apply to your own teaching. You've made connections to them and perhaps other things that you've learned. So that would be the reading reflections. And then the weekly lesson planning assignments are actually that big project broken into chunks. So you're working on it a little bit at a time. You'll get feedback on each part, and then the whole final project will be due at the end of the semester. but you will have been doing it little by little throughout the whole semester. And so there's your big project, differentiated planning, instruction, and assessment. And you will see that there is a rubric on chalk and wire, on D2L, I'm sorry, a rubric on D2L, and the field experience log and reflection is your second assignment. It's not such a big assignment. They're both due on April 25th, but I highly recommend that you work on that field experience log. Just keep recording the hours, and I'll get more into that in another screencast, so that when it's time to turn it in, it's all done and really easy and you don't have to remember everything. So both of these assignments you'll be working on throughout the semester. So hopefully when they're both due on April 25th, sorry if I said August earlier, April 25th, you'll feel really good about it and you'll be well on your way to being finished. It'll just be final polishing and tweaking. So those, this is how your grade will be determined. And then under course policies, again, they're sort of all of the things that we have to have because KSU tells us that we have to have them, but they are very important. And the one thing that I really want to point out to you is that in your MED program, what did I just do? Okay, in your MED program right here, you will see that in many courses you have program assessments. And these program assessments must be loaded into chalk and wire, and you have to score an average of 3.0 or above. Means that's an L3, meeting expectations. You cannot have any L1s and not more than 20% L2s. If you don't do well the first time you submit an assignment, you get one more chance to resubmit it. But if you don't end up with an average score of 3.0 or higher, then you don't pass the class. So that's very important. And so the program assessments for this class are your differentiated planning, instruction, and assessment project, and your field experience log and reflection. So you will upload those into the assignments folder, and you will also upload them into chalk and wire. So please review the syllabus carefully. I'm going to end this screencast now because I don't like to make them too long, but I will provide you with another one where I will go into a little more detail on those two big assignments. I hope you have a great night. I'm sorry I was late getting this up. I was co-writing another course with someone else, and I didn't realize they created me a new Soft Chalk account, which doesn't mean anything to you, but when I was looking for the modules for this course, I couldn't find them because they had been moved to an account that I didn't know I had. So anyway, please feel free to reach out to me during the semester. If you you'll notice on the syllabus that my cell phone is there, and there are hours between which you can call. You can also email. I respond within 24 hours, Monday through Friday. If you send me an email Friday after 4, I might not respond until Monday though, because I really try to make some time for my weekends for hiking and things like that. I can't think of anything else really important to tell you right now. But again, just feel free to reach out. If you like to talk face-to-face, we can always have a virtual face-to-face session using Collaborate Ultra, which is in D2L. So I'm here for you if you need me. Have a great night. Bye-bye.